I didn't find lipstick on his collar. I didn't find a stray hair in the car. I found a hidden wire transfer code. A string of digits he thought I was too simple to understand. While my husband, Derek, sat across from me at our 5-year anniversary dinner, plotting how to steal my life and hand it to his mistress, I sat there and I smiled. He thought he was the hunter. He thought I was the prey. He had no idea that I had already moved the pieces, set the trap, and was just waiting for the perfect moment to drop the bombshell that would destroy his entire world. My name is Natalie, I'm 33, and this is how I turned my husband's perfect betrayal into his federal indictment. Before we get into the details of the $2 million forgery and the look on his face when the music stopped, let me know where you're watching from in the comments below. And if you've ever had to outsmart someone who thought they could completely break you, hit that like button and subscribe. You're going to want to see how this one ends. The private dining room at Lecklick glowed under a crystal chandelier. It was our 5th anniversary. The table was set with heavy silver and delicate wine glasses that caught the light like jagged diamonds. To my right sat my mother-in-law, Patricia. She had her lips pursed in that usual expression of mild disgust. The look she gave me whenever I mentioned my 70-hour work weeks as a commercial real estate advisor. Across from me sat Derek. Tailored suit, perfectly groomed hair, the image of a successful wealth manager. We had just finished the main course when Derek tapped his fork against his glass. Ting, ting, ting. I expected the usual rehearsed speech about our partnership. Instead, he reached into his briefcase and pulled out a thick, legal-sized manila envelope. He tossed it onto the center of the table. It slid across the smooth white linen and stopped exactly in front of my plate. Petition for dissolution of marriage. Derek didn't look sad. He looked bored. I'm filing, Natalie. My lawyer drew these up this morning. You'll sign over your equity in the house. I paid the down payment, so I'm keeping it. You have until the weekend to pack. Patricia leaned forward, looking absolutely thrilled. Oh, thank goodness, Derek. You're finally free of this barren, selfish woman. All she cares about is profit margins. Derek nodded, validating her venom. He leaned over, pressing his knuckles into the table to intimidate me. Don't fight me. I handle the finances. I know exactly what you're worth, and you can't afford a war with my firm. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I signaled the waiter. I'll have another glass of the Cabernet, please. My voice was a dead calm. Derek's sneer faltered. To understand why I was so unbothered, we have to go back 3 months. The discovery. It started on a rainy Tuesday. Derek was in Chicago for a conference. I needed our joint tax return for a work audit. I knew he kept the spare key to his office in a hollowed-out dictionary on the bookshelf. Inside his office, everything was pristine, narcissistically organized. I opened the mahogany filing cabinet, and as I pulled the tax folder, a small slip of paper fluttered to the Persian rug. It was a wire transfer receipt. $500,000, moved from our joint savings to an entity called Apex Skyline LLC. I'm a real estate expert. I live in the world of shell companies. I looked up the registry. The company was a month old. The registered agent? The same law firm Derek used for his high-net-worth clients. He wasn't just cheating, he was siphoning. He was building a parachute with my hard work, preparing to jump and leave me to crash. But I don't panic over numbers. I track them. The mistress and the mortgage. The final piece of the puzzle came 2 weeks later from the only decent person in his family, my brother-in-law Jamal. At a barbecue, Jamal casually mentioned seeing Derek downtown with his new assistant, Sienna. They were walking into the Azure Tower, a luxury high-rise. I checked the property records on my phone right there under the picnic table. Penthouse 4502. Sold 9 days ago to Apex Skyline LLC. Purchase price $2.5 million. Down payment $500,000. But here was the kicker. To get a $2 million loan, Derek needed collateral. I checked our home's title. A $2 million home equity line of credit, HELIC, had been taken out 3 weeks prior. I opened the PDF of the signature page and felt the blood drain from my face. There, next to Derek's name, was my signature. Forged. He hadn't just stolen money. He had committed federal bank fraud and identity theft, risking the roof over my head to buy a love nest for a 26-year-old. The shadow war. I didn't confront him. Confronting a narcissist without a strategy is financial suicide. Instead, I called Harrison Cole, an asset protection attorney who is the legal equivalent of a ghost. Natalie, Harrison told me, smile. Make him dinner. Let him think he's a genius while we build a fortress around your wealth. The next month was a psychological game. I watched Derek spend $40,000 on a diamond necklace for Sienna using our joint black card. I watched Patricia move my clothes into the guest room in trash bags to give Derek space. I let them humiliate me. I played the broken, defeated wife. But while Patricia was bagging my shoes, I was digitally signing documents. I moved my entire real estate firm into an irrevocable Delaware trust. Legally, I no longer owned my company. The trust did. Derek's plan to take half my business in the divorce? Dead on arrival. The final strike. The morning of the divorce announcement, I watched Derek make his final mistake. From his office computer, on a recorded corporate network, he initiated an international wire of our remaining $500,000 to a Cayman Islands account named Sienna Global Management. He left me with exactly $12 in our joint account. He thought it was a joke. He didn't realize that by using his firm's secure servers for wire fraud, he had just invited the SEC and the FBI into his life. I screen recorded the whole thing. I sent the dossier, the forgery, the shell company, the IP logs to the FBI white-collar crime tip line. Part F. The climax, 12 to 1400 hours. Back at the anniversary dinner, Derek was still waiting for me to beg. Sign the papers, Natalie, he said, his voice loud so the waiters could hear. Walk away with the cash I'm generously leaving you. I took a sip of my wine. Derek, I've been thinking about investments. And you're right. I'm a failure as a wife for staying with a man who can't even forge a signature correctly. The color left his face. What are you talking about? The $2 million HELIC, I said, my voice projecting across the room. The one you signed my name on? And the $500,000 you just wired from your office computer to the Caymans this morning? The FBI calls that wire fraud. The SEC calls it a compliance nightmare. Patricia scoffed. You're delusional. Am I? I pulled out my phone and hit play on a saved audio file. It was a recording of the bank's fraud department confirming the investigation. I've already moved my business into a protected trust, Derek. You aren't getting a dime. In fact, the only thing you're getting is a visit from men in dark suits. Right on cue, 2 men in windbreakers entered the restaurant. They weren't there for the steak. The look on Derek's face, the transition from arrogance to absolute, soul-crushing terror, was better than any anniversary gift I could have bought. He was led out in handcuffs in front of his mother and the entire elite staff of Lecklet. Derek is currently facing 15 years in federal prison. Patricia had to sell her own home to pay for his defense lawyers, who eventually dropped him anyway. As for me, I'm still in my house. The loan was declared fraudulent and discharged. Sometimes the best investment you can make is in yourself. And a really, really good lawyer. If that payoff was as satisfying for you as it was for me, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the most calculated revenge you've ever heard of? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories of justice served cold. I'm Natalie, and I'll see you in the next one.